nations. Now moving on, we'll see just how the battle itself plays out. It will begin as the 1948 and 73 offensive has Egypt from the south and Syria from the north will attack Israel simultaneously. They will, just like in the previous conflicts, initiate a coordinated pincer action designed to crush Israel. However, there's a problem. This time there's a united European force under the Antichrist's leadership. They will fight for Israel, of course not for the Jews, of course, but merely for the beast's political and messianic aspirations. Egypt and Syria will be pushed back. However, their advance will soon be reinforced by the full weight of Islam. Now let's see. I want to take the time to tell you about which nations will join the war and how exactly they will fare out. And I think it's only fitting to start with Saudi Arabia, the nation that gave birth to Muhammad and to Islam, and even to this day Saudi Arabia is the heartland of Islam. This is what the Prophet Isaiah has to say. He tells them that their holiest places will be left desolate and that they will be given to the thickets and undergrowths. Enjoy the Kaaba while you can, Muslims. You won't have it for much longer, and it will be destroyed not by infidels but by Muslim hands. You will destroy your own most sacred mosque. Now moving on, I want to talk about Egypt, the nation that will start the war. Egypt to this day is the center of Islamic scholarship. Listen to what Yahweh has to say about Egypt and how it will fare out in the war. And I quote, "Where are your wise men now?" The word here for wise men is literally translating to modern standard Arabic as imam. Think about that. Let them show you what Yahweh has prepared for Egypt. The officials are like fools, the leaders deceive, and they make Egypt stagger as a drunkard in its own vomit. Sounds pretty bad, doesn't it? The prophet Isaiah also goes on to say that the Egyptians will lose heart. They will be very afraid of the Israelites. It also says that the Nile will dry up and that internal fratricide will occur. Now that's not a big surprise. Muslims have always spent more time killing each other than they have spent time killing infidels. However, this will soon change as the two main attacking nations are pushed back. The Islamic armies from the north and from the east will reinforce them. Jordan, you'll be pleased to hear, will not take part in the war. Surprisingly, for a change, they will take shelter in Israel. To this day, Jordan has a Sunni majority population, and it's only natural that the Iranian Shiites will be particularly harsh on them. The prophets also say that Jordan will be desolated by and I quote, "a fierce wind from the west." Now, if my theory is correct, and I certainly hope it is not, the Iranians will use biological weapons against Israel. However, Yahweh will send a wind from the west pushing the toxins into Jordan, making the land uninhabitable. For Syria, there is even worse news. Damascus, the oldest city on the planet, will become a heap of ruins. It will never be inhabited again, and it will become a radioactive hole in the ground. Not even animals, the Bible says, will live there. Not even animals or humans. It will become the biggest wasteland on the planet. Now, moving on, I want to provide you with a few more information about America. America's position in the tribulation and in the war that is to come is very interesting. The Americans are told that their influence around the world will be cut back and that they will lose power. This is again referred in Isaiah, and I quote, "For before the harvest, when the blossom is gone, and the flower becomes a grape, he will cut off the shooting branches with knives. They will be left to the birds of prey." Now what this means is that America's influence around the world will be cut back. This began with 9/11. That was the first cut. The second is the current crisis we are going through right at this very moment. The third one was America's war in Iraq, where America endangered the wrath of the entire world and gained nothing. Wake up, Americans. Your leader is not fit to run you. Now, what else is there to say about the current situation? American cities many American cities will be left desolate. And the reason for this is that Muslims to this very day refer to America as the Great Satan, and they see it as Israel's best friend. Well, this is true in the general sense. America has done more to rob Israel than any other nation on earth. After each Arab and Israeli conflict, America has taken up the negotiations, demanding that Israel gives up its hard-won territories so that they may buy oil more cheaply, and that Muslim tyrants will buy American hardware, American military hardware, so that they may be able to kill more Jews. Regarding America and its, well, let's just say predilection to loot the Jews, Isaiah 17 says, "In the evening, sudden terror, before morning, they are gone." Now this prophecy has two meanings. The first one obviously refers to the terrorists